Tamara Ugolini here with Rebel News, and in today's report, I am bringing you the second part of an interview I conducted with genomics expert Kevin McKernan. In the first part of our discussion, which I will link to in the written component of this video report, we discussed regulatory capture, conflicts of interest, and how the uncertainties and unknowns with Pfizer's jab, the novel COVID-19 jab, continue to mount. In this part, we pick up discussing state-sponsored censorship and how the New Zealand government, for instance, intervened in McKernan's private database and deleted all of his data sets, effectively silencing public health data from reaching the very public that it concerns. McKernan claims to have lost approximately $200,000 worth of research data when his Mega account was abruptly deleted. Mega ironically calls itself the privacy company, with privacy by design. This followed an urgent injunction granted by the New Zealand Ministry of Health, which was trying to stop the sharing of anonymized data leaked by whistleblower Barry Young. Young had leaked information from a pay-per-dose COVID-19 vaccine database to journalist Liz Gunna and tech millionaire Steve Kirsch, who as recently as December 15th says that it provides clear evidence of high death rates linked to the COVID-19 vaccines, hence the increases in all-cause mortality seen throughout various jurisdictions with high novel injection uptake rates. Indeed, the World Health Organization's Director General, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, previously glossed over this horrifying detail during his high-level welcome at the World Health Assembly in May of 2022. Look at this.
More than 2 years into the most severe health crisis in a century, where do we stand is the question. More than 6 million COVID-19 deaths have been reported to WHO. But as you know, our new estimates of excess mortality are much higher, almost 15 million deaths.
McKernan elaborates on this further in our interview and speaks about the role of censorship in giving the illusion of consensus. Check it out.
Well, I think I just reinforced to people that, yeah, the censorship matters. It's still happening. I mean, this week, one reason I'm only partially read on this paper that came out is that I had a terabyte of data get destroyed by the New Zealand Ministry of Health this week. So I've been spending all week trying to, regenerate that. They caved. We got some attorneys involved that realized that what they did was illegal. But for those who aren't familiar with that story, Steve Kirsch found some data that was derived from the New Zealand Ministry of Health regarding how many vaccines and how many deaths and when they died. And he scrubbed this of personal identification information and manipulated it in some other ways and put that data live. I made the mistake of when his server went down, he claimed it went down for bandwidth reasons. And so I'm like, fine, I have bandwidth. I'll put it up on Mega. It's close to New Zealand. I think it's in New Zealand, so it shouldn't have any issues. And then a few hours later, I think from when I put that up, they took down my entire server. It was a cloud server. And we had backups, but it's still, all of the links from our Substacks and some of the papers we've written point to that server. So when they blow up the server, those links break, we got to go repair them. It's a big mess. And what also was on that drive, which I think stirred a lot of anger online, is that all of the VAC sequencing work we did was linking off of Mega. So when the New Zealand Ministry of Health asked Mega to take it down, they did so illegally before they had an injunction in place. And that's where our attorneys got involved, saying you can't touch someone's data. For one, you should take down the data that you're concerned about and prove it's your data, which Steve contests. They have not proven that's their data. They've proven I've changed it enough such that it's derivative work. But it just shows the extent and the desperation of the censorship campaign for that. They're going and doing illegal acts on other people's property. And they took down a store of data about public health. I mean, we have genomes up. We've got cannabis genomes up there. We have microbial genomes. We have psilocybe genomes up there. We have VAX sequence data up there. They annihilated, it was 820 gig of data that they annihilated. That's free public data that is used in public health circumstances to protect a taxpayer's document on the vaccine injuries that might exist in New Zealand, which should be public information anyway. So yeah, the corruption's really deep. They are running scared. They're to the point where they're desperately doing illegal acts to try and cover what they're doing, and so the censorship hasn't ended. I think that's an important take-home message: is keep finding journalists like yourself, the folks that are outside of this mainstream media that seem to have a free voice. And support them, because we're not going to get out of this hoping mainstream media cleans itself up unless people are going to financially start to invest in the reporters that are actually giving them good information. And it doesn't need to be through a corporation anymore per se. There's enough independent journalism out there that are doing great stuff on Substack or through Rumble and through Rebel News that I think that's going to be the solution to turning this around, is to take the microphone away from them, put it back to the people so that the censorship is no longer harming people.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you. I appreciate those sentiments, and thank you for your extensive work on this file and others, and I look forward to chatting again in the future. If you would like to see uncensored reports on this very topic, the novel COVID-19 mRNA injections, you can head over to our special website, nomoreshots.ca. There you can send a form email to Canada's Minister of Health, Mark Holland, requesting that he revoke market authorization for these injections. You can also sign our petition and, of course, sign up so you stay up to date with the latest reports on the topic. That's nomoreshots.ca.